Okay. So it is strict. No. So when we talk about the sadhu sang, we should understand that it leads us to take the shelter of the real and genuine sadhu, which is a guru. So in today's discussion, we'll understand, first of all, the need of a spiritual master. Sometimes people say that what is the need of a guru? It is between me and Krishna. I can chant Krishna's name, I can read Bhagavad Gita, I can understand, I can worship. And why we need some mediator in between? Some people might have this kind of understanding. And another reason that why people bring this kind of thoughts is their experience is little unpalatable, unfortunately. So every nook and corner you will see a lot of people, they're claiming themselves as guru nowadays. That has become a fashion. This guru word is being used so cheaply. There is a guru for everything. There is a guru for table, chair, car, everything. Yoga guru, football guru, cricket guru, this guru, that guru. So like that, people have started using this word guru in a very cheap way. And every other person, just he comes out and he claims to be a guru. And then if he is not up to the mark, he is not qualified, then they'll have some nasty fall down. And then people start losing the faith. So then say, what is the point of going to any guru? Let me just, me and Krishna. So it is very important to understand, first of all, the need of a guru. And then we'll understand more from the scriptures that who is a bona fide guru. Can anyone be a guru just like that? There has to be certain qualification. There are some qualifications. What are those qualifications? What scriptures explains? What Krishna explains in Bhagavad Gita? So we need to understand. So today's discussion is dedicated to understanding this. So we'll begin with the prayers. So please join me in prayers. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Pasha Dedeshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So in today's discussion, we'll be understanding about majorly the 5 different items related to this topic. So first of all, we need to understand the definition of a guru. What does the guru mean? And then need of a guru, position of a guru, and then qualification of a guru, and then contribution of a guru. So when we are talking about guru, please remember always, I'll not be using again and again the same word as when I say guru. Guru means a bona fide guru, a pramanik guru, not the loitering in the street guru. Not every other few feet you will find one guru. He claims that I'm a yoga guru, I do beer yoga, I do some other nonsense yoga, not those kind of cheap gurus. We're talking about a bona fide, pramanik guru, one who is a great saintly person, who is a pure devotee of Krishna. That kind of a guru we're talking. Okay. So the definition of guru is this, very simple. We chant always this prayer. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. So this is how we offer our obeisances to pranam to the spiritual master, to the guru. So the understanding is that we are all born in the darkness of ignorance. This material world is like that. Right? So the guru is the one who opens our eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. Jnananjana Shalakaya. So guru means, this is the idea of guru. One who is capable of opening our eyes from this darkness of ignorance. When the person, he is in ignorance, ignorance is compared to the darkness. So in the darkness, you cannot see the things. Suddenly it becomes dark here. You can't make out the things, what is what. Right? So that is ignorance. But then the guru's job is, he brings the light in our life. The light of knowledge. Gyan ka prakash. So through that light, we can see the things in reality. Right? We have been discussing and understanding from Gita. Like the first item of Bhagavad Gita, the first concept we understand is we are not the bodies, we are the soul. Now, this light has to come from the scriptures through the Guru. Otherwise, we can never understand all these concepts. And I am not the body, I am the soul. We have always been living in the bodily concept of life. We think body is all in all. My life's goal is to give the best of the facilities, create the comforts for the body, for sense gratification. But the Guru comes and he teaches. No, you are not the body or the soul. So this is what is the meaning of Guru. So Guru is not the one who will teach you, how to remain fit. It's okay. We there are people like that. We can call them the teachers, not the Guru. Guru is a very, very heavy word. Like as Prabhupada explains, Guru means, Prabhupada says, this is from teachings of TLK. So the word Guru means heavy. So this is the literal meaning of Guru. There is a antonym to this is called Lagu. So the two words, Guru and Lagu. Guru means heavy, Lagu means very light. So Guru is the personality who is very, very heavy. Now, heavy is not like someone with a bulky body, not that kind of a heavy. Heavy means heavy with knowledge, true knowledge, right? So that is what is the Guru. And what is that knowledge? Tad Vijnana. The heaviness is Brahmanishta. Attachment to Brahman and Parabrahman Bhagwan. That is Guru's qualification. So Guru means heavy. So the people when cheaply use this word Guru for everyone, better they should use the word a teacher. Somebody can be yoga teacher, somebody is teaching us the driving. All right. So driving teacher or something. But then people, because it's become a fashion, it's a kind of, some kind of a reputation. Oh, I am also a Guru. All right. So Guru means heavy with the knowledge. Now, we'll talk about the need of a Guru. It's very, very important that why we need any Guru. Do we really need Guru, or we can also read Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, we'll understand, we can practice, and we can also establish our connection with Krishna, we can progress on the spiritual path. What is the point of this Guru? Because it's very confusing. Whom to accept as a Guru? Who is the qualified Guru? What if I get connect to some wrong Guru? Later, he might lead me to in a different direction altogether. He might be interested in my money. So I'm a little doubtful. So I'm not interested in making the Guru. So these kind of ideas we need to understand. So the example is given, like just by reading the medical books, we don't become the doctor. Medical books are available in the market. You go buy and read, and do you become the doctor like that? No, you read the books, but you understand how to practice what is written in the books under the guidance of a practicing doctor. Then only you learn. Theory is one, but practically implementing the theory is a completely different, thing to understand. So similarly, we always need, and actually we understand even in the material world, for that matter, any field of learning, there is always a need of a coach. Whether it is sports, or it is singing, or it is art, or anything, you always need one teacher who guides you. If that was not needed, then people will go buy the books, watch some video, and then you learn everything. But it doesn't work like that. We need someone to teach us, to guide us, to correct us. On the course of when you are doing something, there is a mistake, there has to be the person who can point out your mistakes and can correct you. All right. So there is a need of Guru. So it is said in the one of the purport in the Bhagavatam, when the living entity is lost in the forest of the material world, in the struggle for existence, his first business is to find a bona fide Guru who is always engaged at the lotus feet of the Supreme Person of Godhead. So we are all lost here in this material world. So in the early morning, the first song we sing during Mangalarti is Samsar Dava Nalalid Loka Pranaya Karunya Ghana Gana. So this is the prayer, the glorification of the Guru. It is called the Guru Astakam. Right? So what we pray, what we sing is Samsar Davana. This material world is like Davana, it's like a forest fire. You are lost. There's no hope. If you are caught up in the forest fire, there is any chance that you can escape. You will be burnt into ashes. Right? But Tranaya Karunya Ghana Ganatvam. But if there is a rainfall, then there is a hope. So the Guru is the one who dropped the rains of mercy. Vande Guru Sri Charanarvindam. To that Guru I bow down. Right? That is the need of the Guru, because we should understand that we are caught up into this material existence, which is compared to the forest here. Who will save us? Who will take us out from here? So we need someone who's capable of doing this. So Guru can do that. Right? And also it is from the Mundaka Upanishad, it says, Tadvigyanardham Sagarum Eva Vigachet Samit Pani Shrotyam Brahmanishtam. So Tad Vigyanartham Sagarum Eva Vigachet. If you want to understand Vigyan, what Vigyan? The science of God, then Sagarum Eva Abhigachet. Go to the Guru, go to the bona fide Guru. You cannot learn the science of God just by reading the books. You have to go to the Guru. So that is the need of the Guru. Okay, also, this is another verse from the Bhagavatam again. Tasmat Gurum Prapadyeta Jigyashu Shreyam Uttamam. So somebody who's Jigyasu, any person who seriously desires to achieve real happiness, must seek out a bona fide spiritual master and take shelter of him by initiation. So anyone who seriously desires to achieve the real happiness, now this real happiness we already understood in our previous sessions. Real happiness doesn't lie in the material world. Real happiness lies only when we get connected to Krishna. So if we are seriously interested in that kind of happiness, then Tasmat Gurum Prapadyata. Go and surrender. Prapadyata means surrender to the bona fide Guru. Otherwise, we cannot achieve the real happiness in life. Right. So Prabhupada gives many different kind of analogies. So one of the analogies is this. The person who is bound, hands and legs are bound, can he untie himself? He cannot. So he needs someone who is unbound, who is not tied. Similarly, we are all conditioned soul, we are bound in this material world with the material laws. So we need someone to release the person who is free from this bondage. So that is the Guru. The person who is not under the influence of the material modes, who is not under the influence of this material nature. That person can only come because he is untied. He will come and he will release you from this bondage. All right. So there is a story of this, one Guru, Sikh Guru. So one time he went to the Jagannath Puri in Odisha along with his lot of followers. So when they're standing outside the temple, so all these followers, they are just shouting loud and glorifying their Guru. Instead of glorifying Jagannath in front of the Jagannath temple, they're glorifying their Guru. Now this Guru, he goes inside the temple and in front of Jagannath, standing in front of the Lord, and he started glorifying his Guru. So this Panda in the Puri temple, they got a little upset, annoyed. Say, what is this? Outside your followers, they are glorifying you. Inside in front of Jagannath, you are glorifying your Guru. What is this? You should glorify Jagannath. So then he says, he tried to explain him. But this Panda was like very adamant, is not ready to listen to his explanations. So then when they came out, this Panda also came out. And then this Guru, he set a small fire just to convey his idea. So he says to this Panda that, can you touch this fire? Sorry. He said, can you touch this fire? He said, no, who can touch the fire? Nobody can touch the fire. He said, no, but still you should try. He said, no, I can touch the fire. He said, do you want to try once? He said, no, I don't want to try because I know I can touch the fire. Then this Guru, he takes one wood log, piece of wood, and he touches the fire through that. Right? And then he says, see, the Supreme Lord is like the Supreme Fire. We are not qualified to touch that fire. We are not qualified. But if you take a wood log, then you can touch the fire. You can do something in the fire with the help of that wood log, one wood stick. Right? Similarly, we cannot directly access the Supreme Lord, which is beyond our reach. We have no clue. Right? But then Guru becomes the via media who connects us to the Supreme Lord, to the Supreme Fire. So that is where we need the Guru. Right? In fact, in the Bhagavad Gita also we see that how Arjuna was completely confused and bewildered. So the first chapter is all about Arjuna is getting bewildered. All right. And there's no solution. Finally, he was depressed and he says, I'll not fight. And then finally, in 2.7, he says, Shishyasteham shadimam tvam brahmannam. Now, Krishna, I am soul surrendered unto you. Shishyasteham shadimam tvam brahmannam. I am surrendering to you. So when he surrendered, that is when he receives all the instructions and all the guidance. So similarly, when we surrender to the Guru, then only we receive all the guidance in our life for our spiritual progress. Right? There is another analogy Prabhupada gives of this. Guru is like a transparent via media. Right? So Prabhupada gives this example that sometime you, if I cannot see something, I put the glass. But the glass is transparent, so I can see that. So similarly, Guru is, he basically, if I remove my glasses, then I won't be able to see. But I put the glass, I can see. But there is nothing, it is transparent. So I see clearly, but there's nothing here. So Guru is like that. So Guru is like that when, if you want to see some, object in the, in the space. So they use the telescope, right? They want to see some far off, some objects like that. So the telescope, so though this object is very big, but it is very far off, so it looks very small, very tiny, to the extent that it is invisible to our naked eyes, right? So when you put the telescope, what happens? There is a magnifying glass. So what the telescope helps is, it can show you the far-fetched objects, and it brings within the domain of your sense perception. Otherwise, you can't see. Though it is very big, but it is very far. We are not able to see. But you put the magnifying glasses, then you can see it brings closer. And you see, oh yeah, I can see something. So similarly, the Supreme Lord, he is unlimited. He is very vast, big, but it is very far. Because of the distance, we are not able to see the Lord. So then Guru comes in the scene. And then what he does? He acts like a magnifying glasses, the transparent via media. And then he brings that far off object very close to us. You can very closely see the Lord, the mercy of the Guru. So that is why we need the Guru. Also, if you want to understand the scriptures, we need the guidance of Guru. Otherwise, it's very, very difficult to understand the scriptures in the right context, the right message you may miss out. So there is one verse. This verse says like this: Drashtava Keshavam Patita Pandava Harsh Nirvara Rudanti Kaurava Sarve Aha Keshava Keshava. So the meaning of this verse is Drashtava Keshavam Patita. So when they saw Keshav is the Supreme Lord Krishna, Patita, that Krishna has fallen down, Pandav Harsha Nirvara. Then Pandav was very happy. Pandavas were very happy when Krishna has fallen down. So Pandava Harsha Nirvara. They're like, celebrating. Harsh means they're very joyful by seeing Krishna's falling. And Rudanti Kaurava Sarve. And all the Kauravas, they started Rudanti. They started crying and they're shouting and screaming, alas, alas, aha, Keshava, Keshava, oh Keshava, oh Keshava. And they started crying. How many of you know this pastime? Anybody knows here online? Maybe some people knows. Okay, if you don't know this, then don't worry, because such a pastime doesn't exist. There's a misinterpretation of the verse. See how we can misinterpret the verse? Drashtva Keshavam Patita. By seeing the Keshava Patita. Pandav Harsha Nirvara. Pandav is joyful. But the real meaning is, say Drashtva Keshava. Shava is like the dead body. Keshava is dead body is lying on the water. So there is a dead body floating. Drashtva Keshava Patitam, that it is fallen, the dead body is fallen in the water, it is floating there. Pandava. Pandava is anda. Anda is like egg. So the aquatics, pa means the water. So the living entities, those who are in the water, Pandava, Harsha Nirvara, they were just celebrating, oh wow, there is a dead body. Now there is a feast for us. And Rudanti Kaurava Sarve. And then they started crying. Who? Kaurava. Kaurava is like all the jackals. Rava is like Kaurava means the howls and jackals, right? They started Rudanti, they're crying. Aha, Keshava, Keshava, oh, dead body, why you are fallen there? We cannot enjoy you, right? So this is the meaning, but you can make some other meaning out of that. Who will give us the right meaning? So the right meaning, we need the guidance of a bona fide guru. They will teach us that how to read the scriptures, how to understand the scriptures, what is the meaning that we should take, how to implement those instructions practically in our life. So that is where the need of the spiritual master, and that is why even the Supreme Lord personally comes and he established by his own personal example that there is a need of a guru. Even the great scholarly personality, the Vyasadeva, who is the compiler of all the scriptures, his guru is Narad Muni. So you see all the great personalities. Even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes. He's Krishna himself, but he accepted Ishwar Puri as his guru. Even the Krishna also accepted Sandipni Muni's guru, is go to the Gurukul. Krishna is Krishna Bande Jagat Guru. Why? He the Jagat Guru. Why he needs any guru? Just to teach the example, to set the example. And yes, we need the guru. Even Lord Ramchandra, he also has the guru. All great saintly people. So there is not a single example in the scriptures, the bona fide scriptures, authorized scriptures. You will see that somebody has, reached back to Vaikuntha or the spiritual world without the help of the guru. Not possible only. Right? So we need the guru. Now, let us understand this position of guru. That guru is someone like loitering in the street, all the cheap gurus. No, guru's position is very, very high position. Guru is given a very high seat in the Vedas. The bona fide guru. Guru is heavy. Right? So guru is as good as God. It might sound little too much. That is what the Shastra says. We sing in the morning, Sakshat Dharitvena Samashta Sastra Tastada Bhavayat Eva Sadbhi. So Guru is Sakshat Haritvena. He is as good as God because he is the only medium for us to connect to the God. So for us, he is the actual connection. We don't have any connection with Krishna, but our connection with Krishna is through Guru. So we worship Guru as good as God. It doesn't mean, okay, please don't mistake it, because there is a Mayavadi tinge into this. Some people mistake it. They say Guru is God. No, Guru is not God. Guru never claims himself to be God, but he is as good as God. For a disciple, he gives the equal respect to the Guru as he gives the respect to the Supreme Lord. That is the position of a Guru. He worships. So that is how in our system, like every morning when we do the Aarti, we do the Aarti to the Guru also. Prabhupada Aarti. Guru Puja we call it. Right. So that is the position of the Guru. Very important. Okay. Another point here is, as Prabhupada explains, who is Guru? What is his position? He is the empowered incarnation of Krishna. So even in the Chaitanya Charitamrita also, it is explained that Krishna Shakti Bina Nahi Tara Pravartan. Somebody is not infested with the Krishna Shakti. He is not empowered by the Krishna himself. That person cannot act on the position of a Guru. He can act, but it will be futile, will not be useful. So Guru means empowered incarnation of Krishna. Krishna empowers and sends that person. Okay, go, and there is a purpose, and then you go and just fulfill my purpose, my desire. Right? So one cannot do that. So these are all the criteria. If you know all this, then you can determine that who is a bona fide Guru. Right? So he is the empowered incarnation. He can make the difference in the world because he is empowered by Krishna. Krishna sent Shakti. Krishna Shakti. Shakti Avesh Avatar, as it is explained. And is the most confidential servitor of the Lord. So he comes for a purpose, and that purpose is confidential purpose. So Lord says, okay, this is the purpose, you go and do this. Deliver the people in the material world. So he comes for that purpose, confidential servant. So that is the position of a Guru. So we should not cheaply just call out someone who's sitting, who is showing some magic in the public, taking out some gold chains, taking out something from the mouth, and all these kind of cheap people are doing some jadoo, some tona. That is not the real meaning of a Guru. So Guru's position is like this. Okay. And now let us understand the qualification of a guru. Okay. So as Prabhupada explains, if you go to buy the gold, if you don't know what is gold, how does it look, then you'll end up buying something cheap and still you will pay the price of the gold. If you don't know, if you don't understand that, how to understand what is gold. So let's say gold means something yellow, yellow, shiny, shiny. If you go in the market, you say, oh, I want that something which is shiny and little yellow. Person will understand. Here is a bakra. They'll cut you nicely. They'll take the money, they'll give you some cheap stuff. So it's very, very important to understand that what is the qualification of a guru. So let us understand. It's very, very important. Please just pay attention. It might be a little technical, but if you pay attention, you will get a lot of this thing. Now, number one, a spiritual master belongs to a parampara. Right. So this is the first and the foremost, qualification that we should always apply this. Guru means he is coming in Guru Sishya Parampara, chain of disciplic succession. Krishna mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita 4.2, Evam Parampara Praptam Imam Rajarsho Vidu Sakalena Manda Yoganashta Paranta. So this knowledge from Bhagavad Gita is coming down in the Parampara, Guru Sishya Parampara. So spiritual master belongs to a Parampara means, okay, for those who are new, what is this Parampara means? Parampara means disciplic succession. Okay. The Guru receives the instruction or the knowledge from his Guru. He receives from his Guru, and he receives from his Guru. And then finally, you go back and trace back, it will go to Krishna. Prabhupada gives the example of a postman. Right? So if I write a letter from here and I had to send to some other part of the country, then it might go through various hands from here to someone, and finally after 10 hands, that person receives. But then still he received the same message. And that is called the Parampara understanding. So nobody is adding, nobody is subtracting anything. So original message, the knowledge is starting from Krishna. Krishna spoke this knowledge. Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavaye. So Krishna imparted this knowledge to Brahmaji in the beginning, Brahma to Narad, Narad to Vyasadeva, Vyasadeva to Madhvacharya, and like that in the parampara it is coming down. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came in that same parampara. 6 Goswamis came in that parampara. Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur Maharaj came in that parampara, and then finally Prabhupada comes in that parampara. So that is called the parampara system. So a guru should belong to this. So we should ask, okay, what is your parampara? Anyone who says I am a guru. Simple question. You ask, or you ask yourself at least. If you can't ask that person, you ask yourself, what does this person belong to, which parampara? Now people, nowadays you will see, people also might have read all these instructions. So they figured out, okay, people might ask some parampara, we'll create our own parampara. So they'll say, what is your parampara? Parampara, like technically we use it, sampradaya. Which sampradaya you belong to? So people create their own sampradaya. So I belong to some X sampradaya, some Udasin sampradaya. Now, how do you figure out? Shastra clearly explains that 4 bona fide authorized sampradayas. Brahma sampradaya, Rudra sampradaya, Sri sampradaya, and Kumar sampradaya. It is mentioned in the scriptures. Brahma sampradaya starts from Brahmaji, and then Sri sampradaya starts from Lakshmiji, Rudra sampradaya starts from Lord Shiva, and then Kumar sampradaya starts from the 4 Kumara, the 4 sons of Brahmaji. And then there is a parampara is coming down, knowledge coming down. The people are creating their own parampara. Suddenly one day I was sitting on some rock, closed my eyes, and got the realization, I became the guru. All bogus stories. It doesn't tally the scriptures. People can tell you the stories, which might be very fascinating stories. It might appeal to some crowd, but that is not the criteria. From the scriptures, we understand, okay, parampara system. Okay. So as it is said here, Tad Vijnanartham Sagurum Eva Bigachet Samit Panishrutyam Brahmanishtam. So here are the qualifications of a bona fide guru. What is that? If you want to know that Vijnan Artham Sagurum Eva Bigachet, go to the guru. Which guru? Who is Samit Pani Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. Who is Shrotriyam. This is one of the important qualifications. Shrotriyam means one who has perfectly heard the signs of God from authoritative sources in disciplic succession. Same, parampara system. So when you ask the guru, okay, from where you are receiving this knowledge, what you're talking? Says, I'm receiving through this parampara from my guru, their guru, like that. Shrotriyam. He has heard. He has not manufactured the knowledge. He has not concocted the knowledge. So if somebody says, I think it should be like that, there's nothing called I think. You're not to think anything. You're not to speculate anything. You're not to manufacture something new. It is already there in the scriptures as it is. Yatharu should transfer. So Shrotriyam. Then he is Brahmanishtam. So not only does he heard something, oh, very nice, I can speak all of those things. But the result is that he is firmly fixed up in God consciousness. After hearing, you will see his Brahmanishtam, solely God consciousness. His life is all about Krishna consciousness. Everything, every activity of his life, the person is God conscious. So that is the true Guru. Not like Guru is sometime playing the golf, sometime playing cricket, sometime biking, sometime riding, sometime mountain climbing, all these kind of bogus gurus. And they looks like very, what do you say, very appealing to this modern crowd. Oh, look at this. This guru is cool. He drives, he hikes, he do all kinds of things. He swims also, he runs also, play the cricket also, football also. Oh, very cool. That is not the idea of a guru. Who is very beautiful, he is very handsome, he is very sweet. These are not the qualification of guru. Guru is not about all these externals. These are the qualifications. Shrotriyam, Brahmanishtam. A spiritual master must be a representative of Krishna. Very, very important. That is Guru. He is the representative of Krishna. So it is explained, his direction is directly the direction of the Supreme Lord. All actions done under such direction are free from the reactions of pious and impious activities of this material world. That is what is the Guru is. Right? In the direct representative of Krishna. So he is Shrotriyam, please remember, Guru comes in Parampara. Shrotriyam, he has heard in Parampara. Not only has heard, but he practices Brahmanishtam. And then he is the representative of Krishna. And then another important thing is Guru means he is a pure devotee of Krishna. It cannot be some ordinary person that, okay, Saturday, Sunday, I am a devotee, other days I am, and I am Guru. Other day I do my own business. There's no other business for a Guru. Guru means his only business is service to Krishna. There's no other qualification. He's a pure devotee. Pure devotee means he's not a practicing devotee. Pure devotee means he's a perfect devotee. He is free from the influence of this material laws. That is what is the Guru means. Okay. So it is very, very important. When we see all this, we can understand. And let us see more. So as it is explained, even in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Kiva Vipra Kivanyasi, Sudra Kenenai, Jai Krishna Tattvavedi, Sai Guru Hai. So he says, how do we determine that who is a Guru? See, it's not about his externals, that he is a Kiva Vipra. Vipra means like, is a Brahmana. Guru means he should be Brahman. He should take birth in the Brahmana family. Or he should be sannyasi. Kiva Vipra, Kiva Nyasi, Shudra. Or he should not be Shudra, or he is a Shudra, how he can be a Guru? That is not the criteria. Criteria is this. Jai Krishna Tattvaveti Sai Guru. One who knows the Krishna Tattva, then that person is a Guru. So it's not about, it's just like a very simple example. A doctor. So we don't say that, oh, doctor, you are Brahman or you are Shudra or what kind of doctor you are. Nobody asks the doctor. What you ask is whether he is qualified or not. He knows how to treat the patient. Can he cure the patient? Right? What is his success record? Nobody cares whether he is born in a Brahmana family or Shudra family. It's about qualification. So similarly, Guru means Yai Krishna Tattvaveti Sai Guru Hai. So when Prabhupada came here in this country and started preaching this knowledge, and many Westerners, which are actually as per the standard of our scriptures, the Westerners are considered like low class. Prabhupada made them into first class devotee and they went back to Vrindavan and they're living the life like better than a Brahmana, ordinary Brahmana. And there's some so-called Brahmanas and then conventional Jat Goswami, like with the name they are Goswamis and Brahmanas, they're objecting, creating the big, chaos. Oh, how you can allow these people to worship the deities in Vrindavan? So it's not about that person is born into America or India or in Brahmana family or in Shudra family or any family for that matter. Whether he is qualified. he's practicing, is he showing by his character? That is the idea of a guru. And another verse comes from Padma Purana. Shad karma nipano vipro mantra tantra visharada avaishnava gururna shat vaishnavo sapacha guru. So he says somebody might be very expert Brahmana. Brahmana means Shat karma. Yajan yajan, patan patan, dan pratigraha. That is the qualification of a Brahmana. Everything is given in the Bhagavad Gita. Somebody says, oh, I am a Brahmana. What do you do? I eat non-veg. I drink on Saturday, Sundays. I do party. I am a Brahmana. What kind of a Brahmana you are? No, my this what is this call it? Janev. The Upnayan Sanskara is done. Actually, I was talking to some people. It's a little funny. So I said that, like, because we also get second initiation and we also get the Upnayan, this thread. So we chant the Gayatri. So I was just a little curious. So he said, bro, I'm going to India and, I have this ceremony. So he came back and I said, how did it go and all that? Then he showed, yeah, bro, I got the thread. So I said, do you also chant the Gayatri? He said, no, I chanted there only. That's all. It has become like a ritual. Go, they will do a big program. They'll invite all the, relatives and all that. Done. He's not chanting Gayatris. And he says, now I got the Brahmana initiation. And what kind of a Brahmana it is? Brahmana means there is certain qualification. There should be some activities. So the Bhagavad Gita explains Brahmana should do the Shatkarma. What are the Shatkarma? Yajan yajan, padan padan, dan pratikriya. Should read the scriptures and he should teach the scriptures to others. No other business. Brahmana in the Vedic system, you will see, they will never go and do some job. Job is meant for Shudras. That is how it was. Brahmana means they are like the teachers. The head of the society, they'll guide the people. So they will never take up a job. He will just read the scriptures and he will guide based on the scripture. He'll guide everyone. He'll guide the kings. He'll guide the business class people, how to do the business, and he'll guide everyone, even the Shudras also. So yajan, yajan, patan, patan, and dana pratigraha. So the Brahmana also do the dan. So Brahmana, how he will do the dan? He goes and asks the dan. What dan he will do? So yes, Brahmana doesn't take up the job. People, because he gives the knowledge, and in gratitude, people offer something basic minimum, and he just survives and sustains himself based on whatever he receives. And then the true Brahmana means every day he has to beg. It's not like that, okay, somebody I should catch some big donor and once for a month, once for all, or maybe for a month, for a year, he should give me all the ingredients so I can peacefully survive. No, Brahmana, true Brahmana, the Vedic Brahmana means if somebody gives him little extra donation, so he will use whatever is needed for himself, and the rest at the end of the day he will go and distribute. That is the Brahmana. Now, where do we find such Brahmanas? Right. So, but the point is, now here is a very important point. We are talking about the Brahmana, but this Padma Purana says, Shad Karma Nipuno Vipra. Somebody might be very expert in doing all these 6 items. Mantra, Tantra, Visharada. You might be very good in reciting, chanting. Visharada like expertise. You might be very expert in chanting, recitation, puja, pad, and all that. But if he is not a devotee of the Lord, a Vaishnava Gurur Nashat. Vaishnava means one who is a devotee of Vishnu or Krishna. If he is a Vaishnava, then Gurur Nashat. He cannot become Guru just because he follows the Brahminical culture and something. No, that is not the qualification. Qualification is he should be a pure devotee of Krishna. That is the Guru. And on the contrary, it's a very strong statement. He says, Vaishnava Sapacha Guru. If somebody is a Vaishnava, if he comes from a family of Sapacho, means the dog eaters, like very low class family. He might not be coming from a Brahmana background. He is coming from a dog eater family, but he is a Vaishnava, he is a devotee. He is qualified to become the Guru. So that is the criteria. So all this misconception, oh, I am a Brahmana, I am a teacher, I am a Guru, show by examples. Right? He should be a pure devotee of Krishna. So like that. And then we'll just go a little quick now. So a spiritual master is a confidential servitor of Krishna that we already discussed. Okay. Now another point is, we said that Guru means he should be a pure devotee of Krishna. So any pure devotee should become Guru. He should act like a Guru. No, there is another additional instruction to this. What is the additional instruction? spiritual master should be authorized by his spiritual master. So the guru should say, okay, you become the guru, next guru now. It should not be self-proclaimed guru that, okay, I think now I'm a pure devotee, so I should become guru. I feel like this. No, sir. Keep your feelings inside you only. Listen your guru. If he gives you the instruction and the guidance, very clear instruction that, okay, now I want you to become next successor, you become the guru, then only one should become the guru. It should not be self-proclaimed guru that I think I'm qualified enough to guide the people and guide the world, so I am the guru. There will be chaos. There will be some nasty fall down. So that is all. So we should see the overall picture. So we said that, okay, guru means a pure devotee. But then additional instruction is there. Pure devotee who should be authorized by his spiritual master. Then only he can act like a guru. Otherwise, you just practice yourself. Don't become a guru. Okay. And a spiritual master must be well versed in the authorized scriptures. This is another important point, that he should be well versed in the authorized scriptures. So Guru doesn't say that I created something. One day I was sitting in meditation, suddenly something was revealed in my heart. No manufacturing. Whatever you say, Guru, Sadhu, Shastra, these three things goes always in line. That is the criteria we discussed already in the previous sessions. So Guru will always speak from the scriptures. So he doesn't manufacture his own ideas. So some people, there are so many different kind of gurus in this material world. They just create their own, theories and ideas and practices and all of that. No, it should be, he should well versed in the scriptures. Well versed means not only just like a parrot he can quote, but he should understand that how to implement according to time, place, and circumstances. And such an expert, guru is like Prabhupada. So Prabhupada was very, very expert. He was very, very well versed. So when he came to America, now it's a different culture altogether. People come from a different background. Now you have to teach them about the bhakti and all that. So Prabhupada figured out the ways that how he can guide the same principles, but how to practice here in this kind of a culture and environment. He created, because he's well versed. He knows how to implement those things. Right. So Prabhupada introduced the deity worship in this country, or all around the world for that matter, which is not found very commonly here. He built the temples. Now you see India, the traditional temples are like, you follow a lot of different, the different criterias that how you should build the temple and all of that. But here it is not possible. So Prabhupada just bought some buildings, some churches which are like closed down and they're ready to sell. So Prabhupada bought that. Now somebody might, object. Oh, it doesn't look like a temple. Temple means there should be dome and there should be so many other things. It look like some factory. So how you are calling it the temple. But you should understand, temple is not about just architecture. Temple is the place where the Supreme Lord is worshipped and glorified. And not only just worshipped and glorified, but the message of the Supreme Lord should be spread. That is the idea of temple. Temple is kind of a institution. It's a education hub. Like if you want to learn engineering, you go to the engineering college. You want to learn medical, you go to medical college. You want to learn the science of God, where is the institution? Temple is the institution. So temple is not just a place of doing some rituals and some worship and just go away. But you should get educated. So that is the main idea of temple. So Prabhupada established all those things in his institution. So it may not architecturally look like a temple, but still they're temples. So that is what is the meaning of well versed in the authorized scriptures, means you understand the purpose of everything and you bring those purpose without deviating and diluting the purpose of any item. Right. So that is spiritual master will be well versed, and a spiritual master does not manufacture his own way of behavior, and he should be fully practiced in Krishna consciousness. Right. So one time somebody asked Prabhupada that how do we understand that who is a guru? If you ask this question, is a very loaded question. Like people cannot answer. They will tell you so many things, and half of the things you will not even understand also. Prabhupada gave the answer in one line. He says, Guru means is 100% Krishna conscious person. That is Guru. 100% means 100%. Nothing in his life is something which is not related to Krishna. He's eating, he's sleeping, he's talking, he's walking, he's doing anything. It is all for Krishna. That is the Guru. Right? And that Guru should be authorized by his spiritual master to act as a Guru. And another important item, this Prabhupada mentions that Guru should be able to, the person who has controlled or conquered over the 6 urges. This is the first verse of Nectar of Instruction by Rupa Goswami. Vacho Vegam, Manasa Krodh Vegam, Jiva Vegam, Udar Upastha Vegam, Etan Vegan, Yovishe Heta Dhira, Sarvam Apimam, Prathvim Sasishyat. Who can become the Guru? Prathvim Sasishyat. Who can make the Sishya, the disciples, on the entire planet? Who is that person? Who has controlled the urges of Vacho Vegam, Manasa Krodh Vegam. Vacho Vegam means the urges to speak, the urge of tongue. Manasa, mind urges. Mind just keep running here, there. Tongue want to talk something nonsense. Tongue want to taste uncontrollably. You want to eat something. People see something, they will eat. No control. They want to talk something, they can't control the urge. They'll backbite, they fall fine, and all of that. Mind just runs in all directions. Vacho, Manasa, Krodh, Jiva Vegam. Jiva means eating. And then Udar Upastha Vegam. Jiva, and then belly, and the genitals. The urges of sex. So it's not easy for a common man to control all this. So one who has controlled over all this, conquered over all these urges, that person is Prathvim Sasishyat. He can go and make the disciple. Not less than anything, less than this. This is the qualification of Guru. Right. Okay. Now, let us understand this, the contribution of a Guru. What is the contribution? This innumerable contribution of a bona fide Guru. We will try to just count few. So one important contribution as we are discussing is that, he established an institution for spreading this knowledge of Krishna. That is one of the very important contribution of a bona fide Guru. Higher education, right? Not like typical temple where you go, do some worship, do some rituals, and you just come back. People say, I've been going to the temple throughout my life, but there is not a tinge of transformation in the heart. That is not the purpose of, it is just like temples are like the hospital. So I've been in the hospital for, many, many months and many, many years, but my health is not recouping. What is the point of being in the hospital then? Something is wrong. Probably you are not taking the medicine or you're not following the prescription of the doctor. Something is wrong. Or maybe there are no doctors in the hospital. So you're just loitering in the hospital just like that. Just being happy, oh, I am in this hospital. No. You go to the hospital means you should get cure, diseased. Shastra says we are all diseased people. What is our disease? Are we diseased? What is our disease? There might be a lot of diseases. We are not talking about that physical disease or the disease in the body, but a disease of the soul. Soul has got infected, unfortunately. That disease is called the Bhavarog. Bhavarog means we are caught up in this material world. We are in a diseased state. It's not a healthy state for the living entity. So after going to temple, if we are not figuring out that how to come out from, how to cure this infection, something is wrong. So the success of any hospital is not about how many patients are coming in. There might be queue, long queue. Right, like I come from North India, Rajasthan, Jaipur. So the very famous and one very big hospital, famous hospital, very old, SMS Hospital, Savai Mansingh Hospital. It's a government hospital, but very big and qualified doctors and a lot of facilities. If you go to that hospital, like on the road only, so it's a very big campus, but still there's thousands and thousands of patients comes and there is a long queue of the patients. So is that the success of the hospital? It's not about how many patients are coming. Success of the hospital is how many patients are getting cured and going out healthy. That is the success of the hospital. So temple is like that. How many people are, oh, this is a big temple, the thousands of people are coming. Great. Great to have such temples to spread some culture. But even one should consider, one should ask, how many people are getting transformed? Right. Transformed in sense, Vasu, what is that verse? dharma swanushtida pumsan vishwakshena gadasuya na utpadye tiratim shram ev hi kevalam. If you are following all this, going to temple and worshipping and doing all this puja part and all that, but it is not resulting in vishwakshena kathasuya utpadye yadi ratim. If you're not developing some rati means the taste, the desire, the interest in Vishwakshena Gatha. If you're not developing the desire for hearing about the Lord, the Leela of the Lord, you are not developing some taste, some desire to know more about Krishna, and then all your so-called practices is Shram Hi Kevalam. This is a useless thing. You might be happy, you can be satisfied, which is okay, but the real purpose, you are talking here a little deeply. It is not to discourage the people that you should not go to the temple, you should not do the worship. Point is, we need to understand one step down further. What is the purpose of doing all this? There has to be some transformation in the heart. So, the contribution of a bona fide guru is he establishes the institution to bring the higher education, which will result in transformation of the heart. That is one of the greatest contribution. And then that contribution is enabled. There's many contributions. We cannot go in those details. But I want to bring out the another important point, which is despite all of this, however, the greatest contribution of a bona fide guru is the books of transcendental knowledge, which is our today's topic. So what we are talking so far was an introduction. Don't get scared. We'll just closing with that. The point is, A means association, B means books of transcendental knowledge. So that is the greatest contribution. So the guru comes and he gives the knowledge in a way that people, according to time, place, and circumstances, they can relate, the knowledge resonate with them, and they get the idea, the practical tips of practicing those principles. That is the greatest contribution. And these books are not ordinary books. They're books of transcendental knowledge. And, despite all many different kind of contribution of Srila Prabhupada, the greatest contribution is considered as Prabhupada's books. Because these books will continue to guide the generations for next 10,000 years. That is the prediction made by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that is the power of these books of transcendental knowledge. Right. So we may not have the access as a physical form of the guru. But how do we get the guidance? How do we get the instruction? Through the books. So that is why we discussed ABCD in the association of devotees. What we should do? Shall we talk about how to become a rich man? How to become a famous man? How to become what? No. We should discuss the subject matter of the book. Gita, Bhagavatam and all of that. So that's the point. So that has been a greatest contribution of Srila Prabhupada, and in the interest of time, I'll just keep it very short. But when Prabhupada started this movement and he wrote some, published some books initially. So most of the people, most of the devotees, how they became the devotees, they received one or another book of Prabhupada. Just small book, they read and they transformed their life. That is the power of these books of transcendental knowledge. So it's very important when we have the access to these books, we should spend some time, right? And when we spend time with reading and understanding and discussing in the association of devotees, then only we get benefited. Otherwise, just ritualistically doing the things, which is okay, but it is not much beneficial. Right? So that's the point. So we understood here. So if I conclude, we understood who is a guru who opens he removes the darkness of ignorance with a torchlight of knowledge. Guru is heavy with knowledge. And then why we need the guru, we discussed about that. Shastra says that if you Tadvijnanardham sa guru meva vigachet. Want to know the science of God? Go to the bona fide guru. Surrender to him. Jigyasu Shreyam Uttam. Sagurum Prapadyate Jigyasu Shreyam Uttam. So go and surrender to the guru. And we discussed through those examples also. If we don't have the guidance of the guru, bona fide guru, then we may misinterpret the instruction in the scriptures. Position of a guru, He is the confidential servant of the Lord. He is the pure devotee of the Lord. He's given a very high position. Qualification of Guru is coming in the parampara, should be well versed in the scriptures. He doesn't concoct his own ideas. He's Shrotriyam, he hear from his authorities, from the Guru Sishya Parampara, and is Brahmanishtam. Not only just heard, but is very fixed up in practicing what he has heard. So that is the qualification of a Guru. He's controlled all his urges. And then contribution is his institution. He has given the devotees. He has provided the devotee association, the guidance through the books, through the programs like this, and in so many different ways. Right? That is the contribution to bring the true transformation in the people in the world. That is what is the contribution of a bona fide Guru. So that is the idea of a Guru. As per, so whatever I quoted, it is from the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, from the Bhagavatam, from the Mundaka Upanishad, from Padma Purana, like that, various references. So none of these ideas are my ideas or my understanding, but I am just picking and just presenting all those things. That is the way. So that is what the scriptures explains the position of a Guru. Let me pause here and see if anybody has any quick question or any comment. So before that, as I've been reiterating on this, so we discussed ABCD. So every evening we have been doing 8:30 to 8:45. And again, I want to remind the people, because these reminders helps sometime, this little reinforcement, that please take out some time, 8:30 to 8:45 every evening. We have been meeting. Some of the devotees is very sincerely joining every day consistently. So we encourage all of you, please take out some time for your own spiritual benefit. Join this 15-minute session every day, wherein we come together, the association of devotees, we read the books and we chant Hare Krishna mantra. And that is the spiritual diet for our spiritual nourishment. So this is a request to everyone. If you need any help, then you can reach out to one of us. We'll guide you further. So please join that. Okay, so I'll take up some questions. So I have some question here. Okay, so this question says, Namaste, once we find the Guru, how will we know it's the right Guru? With various phases of life, we need different Gurus. We don't know when to change the Guru. Okay, so that is what we discussed. So probably what you're saying is that in different phases of life, we need the Guru. So they're not the Gurus. We can probably say that we need the guides or coach or counselor or teacher. Guru is always the one. We need to change the Gurus for different reason. And the idea of Guru is one who connects us to Krishna. So from the day one, we should take the shelter of such a Guru. So we discussed all these criteria you can apply. That one who comes in the Guru Sishya Parampara, the bona fide Parampara, who speaks only from the scriptures. He is fully Krishna conscious person. He is a pure devotee of Krishna. So you apply all those criteria and then you will find the person who fits in all those criteria. You accept him as Guru. All others, what you are mentioning here, the different phases of life, there might be some counselors and guides and the coaches and the teachers. That based on your requirement, you can figure out. But Guru means the bona fide Guru who connects us to Krishna. So it cannot be many Gurus, different types. Hope it answers your question. Okay, any other question? People can put in the chat and some people are here also. Yeah, Arjun.
Parampara will continue after Srila Prabhupada.
Yeah. Yes, it's a good question. So the question is, we discussed about the Guru Sishya Parampara, starting from Krishna. So actually, Prabhupada, if you have the Bhagavad Gita of Srila Prabhupada, at the end of the introduction, you will see Prabhupada has mentioned what is this Guru Sishya Parampara. So in this Parampara, Prabhupada Parampara is called Brahma Gaudiya Madhva Sampradaya. So it is a Brahma Sampradaya, which is starting from Brahmaji. And then the prominent Acharya of this Sampradaya is Madhvacharya. And then because it is connected to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was, he comes in the God Kshetra, like the West Bengal. This is called the God Kshetra. So it is called Brahma Gaudiya Madhva Sampradaya. Okay, so in that you will see that Prabhupada started from Krishna and then Prabhupada is the 32nd Acharya. Now your question is, after Prabhupada, how this parampara will continue? So of course I can answer in brief, but it's a detailed discussion. So Prabhupada explains, and in fact there's a lot of even in this 32 acharyas also you will see. See, parampara doesn't mean that it's a physical presence of the guru. Then only it can continue. It is more of like the Vani. So Prabhupada many times in his teachings he reiterates this point. There is a Vapu and there is a Vani. Vapu means the physical presence of the guru, the physical person. But more than the physical presence of the person, Vani is more important. Vani means the instruction of the guru. So more important is we receive the instruction. So Prabhupada has established a system to continue to impart the instructions through his system, through his temples, through his devotees, through his books, through his recorded lectures and conversation. Prabhupada says, I'll continue to guide for next 10,000 years. Now that is the statement. So it doesn't mean it is not limited, because what happens, because we are conditioned soul, we are limited, so we try to limit those personalities also within our domain. A person has to be physically present, should come and guide me, but that guidance can come in so many ways. First and foremost is the scriptures. Read the books, you'll get all the guidance. And then if you don't understand certain things, then Prabhupada established the system. There is a temples and there are devotees, those been practicing. Go and ask them. They'll guide you, they'll teach you. They don't know, they'll go and ask further senior devotees. So like that, it's coming down. So this is how when we say the parampara should continue, it's not about the person should continue, it's about the message should continue. Right? There's many instances between this 32 acharyas, wherein between one guru and next guru, there is 100-200 years gap. So there is no physical connection as such that, okay, this guru before he is leaving, so next guru was already there and took diksha from him. No. So these are all transcendental, calculations. We try to put everything in our limited domain.
In one of the slides, you mentioned that spiritual master should tell his disciple that you are the next. So
yes, good question, good catch. So a spiritual master should tell, he should authorize the next acharya. Then only he is authorized to become the guru. Now, how will tell? Again, that is the question. Is really he need to come and tell in your ears or write something? He can tell in so many ways. These are all transcendental personalities and then the transcendental, concepts. So again, it is not limited to just physically going and telling, hey, you become the guru. Or I'm sending you a letter, you become the guru. That is possible. But in case when one guru and next guru, there is 200 years gap. This guru passed away already, left the body. And the next guru is coming after 200 years. And how that connection happens? All mystical things. These are all possibles. So for that, we need to read the scriptures more deeply and understand. It might sound very superficial at this level. As a guru can come in so many ways. There's no limitation. He can guide you. How he can guide you? He can come in your dream. I don't want to mention all those things at this level. People say, oh, Prabhuji, yesterday I got the dream. Prabhupada comes to me saying, why don't you become guru? But it's not that cheap. It's not like that. So that is why I don't want to bring all those ideas, but we need to read the scriptures and understand. Prabhupada guides us with all of those ideas. So that guidance can come in so many different ways. And the point is, if I say something like that after leaving the body, that guru can come, appear in front of you and give you the instruction. Say, oh no, this is too much. How somebody who left the body can come in front of me? It's very difficult to digest unless we reach that level of understanding and the idea of guru. We think guru is also some person like you and me. Some person born in this material world. Once left the body, gone. Guru is not some ordinary person. He is the empowered personality sent by Krishna himself. He is not limited to this body. Something beyond the body. So like in our system, we accept Prabhupada as guru. Right. So now how Prabhupada will guide us? Then Prabhupada needs to be really in physical. Now that guidance comes. Guidance comes through his books, through his lectures, through his conversation, through his recorded his letters, and through his system. Prabhupada has established the system. There is a structure. There are devotees. So like that. So it comes. Right. But your question is very valid question that how it happens. It can happen in so many ways. So my answer is it is not limited to some physical presence. Because by default, what happens, because we are all conditioned soul, we are all limited to physical presence only, right? We can't think anything beyond that. That is why Krishna also comes in the form of Vigraha, deities. Krishna is not limited to this Murti. Krishna is Andantara Paramanu Chayantarastam. Kan kan mein Vidwan hai. Bhagwan is, Krishna is there in each and every atom. But the point is, can we see? Is a question. Krishna is there. Krishna is sitting in my heart also. But I am not able to see Krishna. But when I come in front of Krishna, then I say, okay, Krishna is here. That too also, not everybody see the Krishna there. Some people, those who have not, don't have the knowledge, then they say, oh, maybe some Patharga Murti, some idol stone statue. Some people, in fact, they address their deities like that. Oh, that's a beautiful statue. Not statues, they're personalities. But to see that, you have to have the eyes of knowledge. Shastra Chakshusa. We can see the Lord, we can understand all those things from the eyes of scriptures, not from our material eyes. Very difficult. How do we say this Krishna is here? Somebody doesn't have the knowledge. Maybe some two statues are standing here, like someone from different background, some say non-Indian, American come. They doesn't have any background. So yeah, beautiful statues. They might say like that. But we don't say like that. Say Bhagwan, we go and pray, you share your heart. And not only just we are blindly doing all this, you see the reciprocation from the Lord in so many ways. And the easiest way to see the reciprocation is, we should not mistake that, oh, Krishna should do some jadoo. Some magic should happen in my life. That can also happen. Krishna is not limited. But at our level, what we should see the reciprocation is transformation. If I'm getting little bit, I'm developing some little interest in Krishna consciousness. If I'm able to hold the mala and chant one round every day, earlier that is also very difficult for me. Krishna's reciprocation. Something I'm understanding when I read, Krishna's reciprocation. And then reciprocation can come in so many different forms, so many different ways. Right? So for that, little Shraddha is needed. And not only just a blind Shraddha, it's not a blind faith. Shraddha backed up by the knowledge of the scriptures. That is how we understand. These are all important principles. So that is how we see that Guru is not limited to his physical presence. He acts beyond the physical presence. And in fact, many instances, maybe this is the beyond of today's discussion, wherein Prabhupada, when he was physically present, he reciprocated with many devotees in other part of the world, where there is no physical connection with Prabhupada. They receive Prabhupada's instructions, guidance, and they share their memories. Hundreds of devotees like that. So that is how we should understand. Yes.
You explained, we don't need a physical presence of a guru so long as we follow the guru's teachings and principles. But by this going back to the first statement that you did said, right? We can consider Krishna as the guru and consider that we have understood the Bhagavad Gita and we don't need the guru. So now if we come back to we don't need the physical presence of the guru and we're just understanding the books. It's the same thing, right? So
Right.
what is the difference in not needing the physical presence of a guru?
Okay. So the question is, if we don't need the physical presence of the guru, then we can directly accept Krishna as our guru. Why do we really think of someone as a guru in between? Anyway, it is not limited to physical presence. It's a very good question. So the point is, that is how we receive the knowledge through the parampara system. That is what we discussed, right? So parampara means it should be coming through the disciplic succession. So we don't jump directly on Krishna. Krishna says, no, you want knowledge, go to the parampara. I've already given the knowledge. Knowledge has to come through the parampara only. It is just like, there is a powerhouse and we are sitting here and there is a connection. So the electricity and the power is coming through the wires, and then there is towers set up. So these towers are like the tower-like personalities, the great acharyas, and these instructions flows. And through those towers only it reaches to us. So directly try to jump onto the powerhouse, it doesn't work. Right? So there is a need of a guru. Like as I explained the example of touching the fire. You cannot touch the fire directly. But if you hold a stick in the hand, then you can touch the fire. So you always need the via media. That is how the system has been established. Evam parampara praptam. Knowledge has to be received through the parampara. Another important thing is, if you directly jump onto Krishna, then same thing can happen. What will happen? Drashtava patitam Keshava patitam Pandav Harsha Nirvara. That example I quoted. So you might misunderstand something. You probably can misinterpret it. Something. Oh, Krishna is saying like that probably. So there is a confirmation. Acharya gives. And the same instructions, how to implement in different time, place, and circumstances, the acharyas only give the guidance. So we always need the acharya. So acharya means who teaches by his achar, by his example, by his conduct. So we'll teach you, okay, do this. Like for example, I'll tell you one thing. The instruction in Bhagavad Gita, Satatam Kirtayanto Mam. Meaning Krishna is saying, Satatam Kirtayanto, always chant my name. Always remember me. Manvana bhava mad bhakto. Always be conscious of me. Now that is the instruction of Krishna. Now how do you chant always? Always means 24 hours. So it means while sleeping also you should be chanting. How do you do that? We don't have any clue. Shall you stop doing any work, your household work or whatever your profession, and then sit and then chant 24 hours? Can we do? We don't have any clue, but we had to follow that instruction. We can't say, oh, Krishna spoke this 5,000 years back, so probably we need to change it to Satatam to 3 hours Kirtayanto Mam. No, we can't change the instruction of Gita. So how to implement that? The Acharya will teach. Chaitanya says Kirtaniya Sadahari. Always chant. Kirtan means always glorify me. Now glorification means like we sing the Kirtan. How long you can sing the Kirtan? 24 hours can you sing the Kirtan? Or can you chant? None of us can do. But the naturally Prabhupada comes and they gives you the lifestyle which if you practice sincerely, understand and implement, then you will see 24 hours you are Krishna conscious. So it may not be just sitting and chanting like this 24 hours, which is impractical for this time and age. So I'll say, okay, chant 2 hours, 16 rounds, sincerely chant. That will create a kind of consciousness. With that consciousness, you work, and your work, you offer the result to Krishna. So even while working also, that work becomes Krishna conscious. So 8 hours of your work, if you understand how to develop Krishna consciousness, then your 8 hours is gone into the work, but that work can become Krishna conscious work. You cook food, 1 hour, 2 hours you spend, you cook food and offer it to Krishna. So think that I am cooking for Krishna. So the 2 hours of cooking is become Krishna conscious. So like that, if you spend 18, 19 hours of your day like this, when you sleep 6 hours, you'll be Krishna conscious only. So who will teach all this? We can't figure out. Today we know it very easily. But it's because Prabhupada taught us all this. Like that. Before Prabhupada's guru, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj, his instruction was, he said that all my disciples, they should 64 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. If you don't chant 64 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, then you are not even considered as a human being. Forget about devotee. You're not considered as such a strict instruction. Now today, if we all had to chant 64 rounds, what will happen? He'll stop coming to temple only. So these people are too much. It doesn't work. So then there has to be some way. So what is the way? Prabhupada was chanting, but then Prabhupada came here and he started preaching here. It doesn't work. Prabhupada says, okay, maybe 32 rounds. The devotees come, no, Prabhupada is too much. 32 rounds means to chant 4 hours. Minimum 4 hours. So no, there's too much. It doesn't work. First of all, time is not there. Another thing is we don't have the capability to chant 4 hours. You'll be tired. You'll be lost to somewhere. In 1 round only we are lost, unfortunately. Forget about 32 rounds. So then Prabhupada says, okay, chant 16 rounds and this is final. Now, who can do this? Who can change this? Can we change today? Today we say, no, Prabhuji, 16 is also becoming too much. Can we change it to 12 or maybe 8? 8 will be good. We can't do that. A bona fide guru had the authority to give such instructions. And when he is authorized, when he says something, our services will be accepted by Krishna. We cannot concoct the things. So that is why we need a current connection. Now our current connection is Prabhupada for next 10,000 years.
Srila Prabhupada is not physically there, right? That means for the next 10,000 years, anything that he said cannot be changed.
It cannot be changed. Not a one single word can be changed. Prabhupada very clearly mentions nothing should be changed. That is the meaning of Acharya. And when the Acharya comes, they knows they are like, they know present, past, and future. They're not ordinary people. The conditions are like that. So he knows that the future also what will happen. So there is instructions given. Okay, nothing should be changed. The book should not be changed. The instruction should not be changed. Chanting 16 round, it should be 16 round only. Nobody can say that tomorrow 8 or whatever number. That is the standard given. One should follow. That is the idea.
You are saying 16 rounds and 8 rounds. Probably came to 1 round at least.
No, so the point is, 1 round we are saying, let's start with 1 round. 16 round is still there. If I start telling everyone, okay, chant 16 round, then again, say, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, very nice session. We'll do our own stuff. People will not come. So the point is, people has to start from somewhere. Okay, chant 1 round, this to 2 rounds, 4 rounds, then come to 16 rounds.
Another question I had was, it says 108 times, right? Rather than taking that counting, I will just chant for something like 15 minutes. It will be more than 108 definitely. Is it okay or it has to be exactly 108?
Yeah. So when we take the medicine should be taken as per the prescription of the doctor. So we can say, okay, doctor told me that you eat 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening, before the food or after the food. Probably I keep forgetting. So I thought, and once in a week I'll eat for 7 days. Or in my whatever way, whenever I remember. No, it doesn't work like that. There has to be very specific prescription should be followed. So when we say chant on the mala, we have to chant on the mala only. It's okay. There's nothing wrong. Like there's no harm. Like no, we have to count. There is a reason for counting. There's reason for holding the mala in the hand. There is a reason for counting the numbers. For everything, there is a science. These are all spiritual techniques. Maybe in the next session when we go to the sea chanting, there will cover all those. You bring your question there, and that will be more appropriate to discuss in that forum. Yeah, but we should chant on the mala, we should count on the beats. That is the right way. Okay, so I think we should stop now and we should try to chant 1 round. Okay.